Welcome back to Assembly Hall in Champaign as we get set for the finale of the 4 Class A boys basketball quarterfinal games here on the Assembly Hall floor. I'm Joe Passion again, and we are having a lot of fun and already going into our 3rd game. And again, a rematch between a Chicago area team and a downstate area team. Let's first for the visitors of Elgin St. Edwards. They are the Green Wave out of the West Suburban Catholic Conference, and they're out in the western suburbs of Chicago, and 23-7 under Coach Ken Payne. If you've never been to Elgin, it is a beautiful town, and it's what we bring up here in our Main Street, Illinois. As you drive into Elgin, you can't help but notice the century-old architecture. Old Main Academy was erected in 1855 from materials seldom used outside the state of New York. Gorgeous old homes are the cornerstone for Elgin, founded in 1835 by James T. Gifford in the mid-1960s. Now, as we also go on the road, and how did they get here? Well, they traveled from Elgin, but they had to go past Eastland, Rockford Lutheran, and Princeton. So the Green Wave are here, and are here for not the first time, but hopefully to get a little bit further than they've ever been before. Now for the home team, the Falcons of Findlay High School. They are the home team for this game out of Central Illinois, just south of Decatur. Only 96 kids in the school. They are the smallest school represented here in this quarterfinal Elite 8 of the Class A team. 28-2 for their coach, Coach Reynolds. An agricultural community located in the heart of Lake Shelbyville. Findlay celebrates the Walleye Festival in the summer and the Festival of Lights at Eagle Creek State Park in the winter. One of the most notable buildings in Findlay is the Arches, named for this unique design. So that's what we're looking at, the Green Wave taking on the Falcons in our finale of the quarterfinal game. So stay with us. We will be back to Assembly Hall to preview these two teams right after this timeout.
This game, we request that you please be prompt.
Let's now go to center court and join this game's announcers, Greg Sterick and Jim Albert.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Hello again, everybody. If it's points you like, it's points we're going to give you. Both these teams score over 75 points a game. And speaking of a point maker, let's start with Chris Payne.
Well, Payne's an outstanding scorer from the outside, averaged better than 25 points per ball game, and 41 points in the super sectional win over Princeton. He's the go-to guy. He can light it up from the outside. And when you take a look at Chris Payne, where he'll really hurt you on the drive on the inside, but he also can take you from the outside because he loves to live from three-point territory.
Yes, he does. The Green Wave, though, have one big problem, and that is 2, 6, 7 people to go against from Findlay. We asked Coach Kent Payne how he's going to contend with that.
By our full court pressure and trying to pressure them out front so they can't make easy lobs into the post, and try to stay in front of them without letting them make it too easy.
One of those 6'7" men is Clayton Stivers. He's going to Northern Illinois, and he's a tough man to stop inside once he gets it.
Well, he's a big body on the inside. He's a force on the inside, and he's a good scorer on the inside. Averages better than 20.5 per ball game, but also he's one of the other twin towers inside is Eric Smith. He's a good scorer, too. Their leading scorer at better than 22 points per ball game. Look at the highlights right there. You know, and Stivers right there off the dribble drive. He's a good finisher on the play.
The big men can move. Keep that in mind. Let's go to Coach Mike Reynolds and see how he's going to handle the Green Wave.
Well, it's pretty important because they're our scoring leaders and they've led us most of the year. However, you know, Tuesday night we showed that we still can win with them only getting 13 and 10 points and the other guys picking up the slack. So it's important but not essential, I guess.
And now let us check the keys to the game, brought to you by Milk. It does a body good. Enjoy real dairy products. Look for the real seal in your Grocer's Dairy case.
Well, for St. Edward, I think the threes must fall. They've also got a good, excellent job on the inside with interior defense. And when you talk about Findlay, they've got to contain Payne, but they've also got to find some people that can step up big and give them some scoring on the inside.
We've got one more team to get in the semifinals. One of your network sponsors, the Toyota dealers of Illinois. It is Elgin of St. Edward and the Findlay Falcons. And now let us go to Steve Adams, our public address announcer for the lineups and the rosters.
And final quarterfinal round game featuring the Green Wave of Elgin St. Edward, entering this game with a record of 23-7, and the Falcons of Findlay High School, who enter this game with a record of 28-2. First, let's meet the non-starters from St. Edward. Number 5, a 5'8" junior, Jason Phillips. Number 15, a 5'10" senior, Brett Fleury. Number 21, a 5'10" junior, Justin Relihan. Number 31, a 5'11" junior, Ben Crane. Number 33, a 6'2" junior, Pablo Castro. Number 35, a 5'10" junior, Kip Coppers. Number 41, a 6'1" senior, David Thompson. Number 45, a 6'3" junior, Joel Scarda. Number 51, a 5'9" junior, Brian Patrick. Number 53, a 6'4" junior, Aaron Demuth. Now, here are the non-starters from Findlay. Number 4, a 6' junior, Tyler Bradford. Number 10, a 5'9" senior, Michael Bean. Number 14, a 5'10" senior, Jeremy Cheney. Number 20, a 6'1" junior, Greg Mitchell. Number 32, a 6'3" senior, Jason Tucker. Number 34, a 5'8" sophomore, John Pruitt. Number 40, a 6'3" sophomore, Dustin Pruitt. And number 44, a 5'11" junior, Cameron Lawrence. And now, introducing the starting lineups. At forward for Elgin St. Edward, a 6'3" senior, number 13, Jason Randall. At forward for Findlay, a 6'7" senior, number 30, Clayton Stivers. At the other forward for the Green Wave, a 5'11" junior, number 23, Brian Harms. At the other forward for the Falcons, a 6'2" senior, number 22, Joey Howell. At center for Elgin St. Edwards, a 6'3" senior, number 55, Tom Gary. And at center for Findlay, a 6'7" senior, number 42, Eric Smith. At one of the guards for Elgin St. Edwards, a 6' junior, number 25, Mark Roslin. At guard for Findlay, a 6' senior, number 24, Tony Sparks. At the other guard for the Green Wave, a 5'11" senior, number 11, Chris Payne. And at the other guard for the Falcons, a 5'10" senior, number 12, Jim Allen. And now let's meet the coaches. First, for Elgin St. Edward, the assistant coaches are Joe Nemitz, Mike Malloy, and Mike Termini. And the head coach in his 3rd season is Kent Payne. And for Findlay, assistant coach is Brett Cheney, and the head coach in his 12th season is Mike Reynolds. And now introducing
The tip-off is on its way after this from one of your network sponsors, DuPont Herbicides. Let's see how they stack up for this 4th quarterfinal game. You'll see a man in there weighing 230 pounds. That'll be Eric Smith.
That's going to be a tough matchup there when you look at Gary at 6'3", 185. But both these ball clubs really have some good size. There's some excellent matchups. Randall against Stivers on the inside. Who gets the assignment of checking Payne? It's going to be Allen.
Tip is controlled by Findlay. They go right down to the big man, and he will score. Eric Smith with the first 2 of the quarterfinal game here at the Assembly Hall in Champaign. That was Jason Randall with the ball, and this is the man who lights it up. At that time, he grabs nothing but air molecules as Chris Payne starts off on the wrong foot. Well, Stivers can shoot from outside, but not that time. Follow not there. Smith is there, but the rebound comes down to the green wave.
Both ball clubs very explosive, look to run the basketball and move it up the floor very quickly.
Roslin saved that one nicely. Tom Gary has the basketball. He is the center, standing at 6'3". They'll clear out for Payne. Payne will float and not get that one, and high for the rebound of Stivers. Clayton Stivers, 6'7", 190, a senior, headed to Northern Illinois. They're licking their collective chops there. Nice penetration by Allen, but he won't get it to fall. One of the captains on this team is Randall. Payne outside. He's 0 for 3. Findlay clears. Allen is the smallest man on the floor at 5'10", gives it up to Howell. Now down low to you-know-who, Stivers. He'll force it, and he walks.
Now, Findlay likes to get the ball inside. They work it inside, let Stivers and Smith work inside. Those two guys combined for about 43 points per ball game and about 23 rebounds per contest. So I would say that Findlay likes to look to get the ball in the hands of Stivers and also Smith. And offensively, for Elgin St. Edward, they like to go to Chris Payne or Gary inside.
Gary made a nice pass across the way, but nobody home.
But see, Gary had a shot in there. Felt like maybe Gary was a little bit intimidated on the inside.
Roslin was not that low on the block. It looks to me like Eric Smith must have a pregame workout that consists of chopping wood and eating about 15 steaks. Man, he has got a body. We are just underway. A minute and a half gone. 3 teams are in the semifinals tomorrow. Who will be the 4th? Smith lost the handle.
A good look, too. See how they like to move the ball up the floor very, very quickly. Good look at Kent Payne, head coach of Elgin St. Edward, his ball club at 23-7 coming into tonight's ball game.
And they are on a 12-game winning streak. Randall tried to get it to Payne, had some trouble. Ball is headed out of bounds. Beautiful save, but the green wave will come up with it in the form of Tom Gary. Roslin, 4-3. Not there. Tipped around in a foul. I think they'll get the Findlay ball club for pushing off.
Like Sparks maybe over the back. The shot went up from the outside, and when that shot goes up from 3-point territory, a lot of times you're going to have long rebounds. Long rebounds, so it's important that you get your guards to seal off and then go to the glass.
Payne, good head fake, gets himself open, puts it up. He's 0 for 4. Rebound comes down to Joey Howell. Shot is on the way by Howell, and we've got a whistle and a foul.
Neither team spending much time playing on the half court. They look to get the ball up the floor quick. They're both explosive teams. Now off the dribble drive, the left-hander, the shot doesn't go there. The battle inside. Sparks got the rebound, but Howell was fouled on the play, and on the year, Howell at 70%, 23 of 33 from the stripe.
Some coaches like to say their defense kickstarts their offense, but with these two clubs, the offense just does the job by itself.
Well, both teams are explosive. Elgin averages 76 points per ball game, and Findlay at 79 points per ball game.
Howell, who had 10 points in that super sectional win over Springfield Calvary, 62-55. That was the second win of the year over Calvary. Calvary had gotten them once in a bad pass. Chris Payne not in sync with himself at the moment.
Comes the press right here. Elgin showing a little bit of press, and it's just a zone press. It was beaten pretty easily that time.
Now they throw it away. How many times have we seen, Greg Sterick, one team start the quarterfinal game with no points in the first 3 minutes? Just about every game.
Yeah, I think both ball clubs may be a little bit tight, and about the time I said the press wasn't effective, it did speed up the offense for Findlay, and it created a turnover.
And for the first time in the history of the IHSA tournament, Payne wants to get it going. He doesn't. Stivers high for the rebound. Here comes the fast break. They'll slow it down as, well, maybe they won't. Smith, low post. Kicks it back out. Good play defensively by Gary, who got in front of the big man and knocked it away. This is Randall. Tipped around and won by Stivers.
Stivers and Smith, really big people on the inside. It's tough for Elgin to get any rebounds at all, whether it be on the offense or the defensive end.
Low post to Smith. Trouble. That's why. It's 6-0 Findlay. And Elgin St. Edward has to get itself together.
And Elgin's got some problems. They just don't have the height and the size to combat inside against Smith and Stivers.
Inside to Gary. Nice dish off to Roslin. It'll fall. Mark Roslin, the junior who scored 12 points in the super sectional win over Princeton. So St. Edward gets its first basket of the night. Of course, there are two high schools in Elgin. Elgin, simply Elgin, and then Elgin St. Edward.
And we've got St. Edward in this one, right?
That's correct.
I may have referred to him just as Elgin, but it is Elgin St. Edward.
And it is a 6-3 ball game. And we have a timeout on the floor. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Let's take a look at how these two teams stack up according to our, quote, experts.
Well, I think we're really going to talk about the edge. It's going to be in the rebound department. That's where the big difference is. Findlay with the edge, and when you look at some of the other numbers, Findlay's really got the edge, and they've got a good start here in the ballgame. Findlay 6-3 edge. Rebound department 8-2 advantage for Findlay.
That's a big one. Howell and Allen playing catch out front until they can get it down inside to Stivers, who forces it up, and it will be a jump ball. The official said there was a hand on the ball before Stivers got it up to the glass. The arrow's pointing Findlay's way, and here come the Falcons.
Yeah, St. Edward on that possession went to his zone defense right there. Gary was there, and also Randall, I think, with the strip, almost a strip, held ball, possession arrow the way of St. Edward.
Randall will penetrate, gets it over to Gary. It's loose on the floor. Harms doesn't want the shot. Maybe he should have taken it. Harms averages 11 points a ball game, but again, Chris Payne is the man that ignites things.
And he needs to get on track, but they did have 3 starters back this year with this ball club: Arms, Gary, and also Randall.
And of course, what really got this ball club here, Findlay, is their loss last year in the super sectional to Williamsville. Everybody thought they should have been here. Payne had a shot blocked by Stivers. Back to Payne. He's 0 for 7. A whistle and a foul on Gary, and the ball will belong to the Green Wave.
Well, you're right. A very slow start by Chris Payne, and he's such an outstanding scorer, and they really look to him to score points. He averages 25.6 per ball game, had 41 in that super sectional win, and he really hadn't been able to get on track. Payne now 0 of 6 from the field.
Of course, ball in the Falcons' hands, not the Green Wave. My mistake. Full court pressure. Howell makes a nice save. That was Allen making. Now over to Stivers, who almost walked. No call, bucket instead.
Well, they worked good together, didn't they? Smith to Stivers really worked inside well together.
Payne pulls up, needs it, doesn't get it. Rebound down to Mr. Allen. And Allen set up that last play with a nice save. Stivers again, low block, not good, but he'll go to the free throw line. It's really tough to stop this club if they keep getting those passes down low on the block.
Well, they just keep going to work, and they go inside to the Twin Towers inside, Eric Smith and also Clayton Stivers, and they're just working inside from block to block, and they're just getting inside. They've just got such a height advantage. It really presents some problems for St. Edward. If they get out of that man-to-man and go zone, then you've got problems rebounding out of a zone defense.
Stivers shoots 67% from the charity stripe on the year, but that one won't go into the plus category. As I was mentioning, Williamsville upsetting, a big upset, one of the bigger ones of the year last year in the Super Sectional. And Coach Mike Reynolds said that really put the fire in these kids' eyes. Gary down the other way for the Green Wave. Great name. Long shot, not there. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The coach won't tell Chris Payne to stop shooting because that's your meal ticket. You've got to get him loose. Alley-oop. A little too high. Howell travel.
No basket is traveling.
Joey Howell with the turnover.
Chris Payne, the outstanding player for St. Edward. He's a cousin to Coach Kent Payne, and he's also a transferred in from Amboy High School.
That is correct. And an interesting story about Mr. Payne and his uncle, which we will relay to you a little bit later after Gary kicks it back out to Payne, taken away by Howell. Make it Jimmy Allen all the way down, but here comes Payne. And Payne will try to baseball pass down the other way, and Roslin will not slow it up. He'll shoot. Rebound Harms. Randall, will it go? No. Foul. After the shot, or at least maybe during it. I think they'll call that after the shot, Greg.
I think it's going to be after the shot, but St. Edward very cold from the floor, very cool, almost an iceberg. They're 1 of 14 now from long range. Randall with a missed shot. Nice board work right there. The shot right there goes up from the outside by Randall, and he was fouled after the shot.
Nice inlet pass to Gary. That'll go.
Yeah, nice inbounds play. Nice work that time as Gary slips in and gets the two-pointer. Now it's back to within 4. 9 for Findlay and St. Edward 5.
Allen penetrates, almost loses it. Stivers, too much iron. The rebound comes down the other way. Tony Sparks gets it to Eric Smith, and they'll crank it back up. Allen from outside, not there. Sparks got it. Check that. Yeah, that's Tony Sparks.
Yeah, that's that offensive rebound. A stick back once again. They're really controlling it on the. Ooh, long range. Where's Chris Payne been? He steps up, knocks down a big 3.
And he almost got the steal. If you're one of your first 14 and you're only down by 3, I think you have to be one of the fortunate few.
Yeah, I think you feel pretty good. 3-point attempts for St. Edward. They're now 1 of 7 from 3-point land.
Stivers can handle the ball, as you can see. Get it over to Howell. Down low. Eric Smith turn around. It'll go.
Well, once they get it down low, Smith and Stivers really hurt you.
Randall not even close on that attempt. Stivers keeps it in bounds, but his foot was on the line. So, well, actually, they're going to say that the Elgin player, Gary, had his foot on the line as he tried to save it, so Findlay will maintain possession.
Both of these ball clubs, they don't waste much time out of that half-court offense, do they?
No, they don't. Allen gets it to Stivers or Smith, and they shoot it. That's it. And why not if it's working? Driving is Sparks, and we've got a foul from behind on number 42, Eric Smith. With 1:10 remaining here in the first quarter. Yeah, this pace will not go away, ladies and gentlemen. That's his 3rd personal foul, and that is a big item in this game. That almost evens things up a bit.
Well, I think you're exactly right. You see Eric Smith on the bench with his 3rd personal foul, and Jason Tucker has checked into the ball game for Smith.
Tucker wears number 32. He's out there guarding Roslin right now as they work it around the perimeter. And that's the man they want with it. He lost it back to Gary. Gary kicks it out. Randall really needs a bucket. Doesn't get it. Not even close. Rebound Sparks. Sparks has played a good first quarter. You're always looking at the big guys, but those little guys are working too. Here's Sparks. Sure. Roslin had it knocked away, and it's picked up by Howell. They'll re-crank it. Baseline's open. Tony Sparks.
Yeah, Roslow was beating on the drive. It sure didn't get much weak side out. Quick back the other way, though. Great look up the floor as Gary takes it strong to hoop and gets the nice deuce.
A little tit for tat here in this quarterfinal game. Okay, you're going to score on me quick. I'll score on you quick. Here's Sparks driving.
Yeah, see Sparks drive there. Randall doesn't get there in time to give that good weak side help. Still able to get the hoop and then back the other way very, very quickly. You know, you can't rest getting back on the defensive end. And right there he goes. Tom Gary gets a nice two-pointer. Gary fouled on the play. Gary, their leading rebounder, but only shoots 52% on the year from the stripe.
Free throw shooting is at least half mental, but you also have to do it over and over again. Rebound Payne. He still couldn't get it to fall. He's only got one shot. Try again. Yeah.
Oh, he stayed with it nicely, didn't he?
That's his second bucket of the game. 5 points for Payne. Here comes Stivers. One on the world. Count it. 5 seconds remaining. They better hurry. Stivers stole it, and that's the way the first quarter will come to an end. With a flurry, Findlay leads St. Edward 17-12. One of your network sponsors is the Toyota Dealers of Illinois. We are back at the Assembly Hall. Here are some of the keys for both clubs.
Well, you look at the game notes there. St. Edward upset number 5 Rockford Lutheran sectional final, looking for first trophy and third state final appearance. When you look at Findlay, let's talk about the second smallest school to qualify for Class A, Elite 8, 96 students, but they sure found 2 big ones. They may have the tallest team here. Field goals, 25% St. Edward, 47% for Findlay.
Jason Tucker just got his shot rejected, and now a steal by the Green Wave. If in fact Findlay should win the state championship, it would be the smallest school to ever do that. Until now, it was Hebron with 99 students in 1952 and a charge. Stivers set up shot.
But really, there's not much there. Gave the fake, looked inside, and put it on the floor right there. Good call by the official. No question about the call. And at that time, it was a case where Gary needed to kick it out and get into some kind of an offensive set. Good look at Kent Payne. This guy could really shoot the basketball when he played, too. He was a southpaw, left-hander, had a nice stroke from outside.
Well, there's a turnover that'll come back to haunt somebody in a close game. Jim Allen just simply dribbled it off his foot as he was looking at court. Is it me, or does it take a longer time for these guys to fall like Stivers and Smith? They're so tall, they kind of like come down like an accordion. Elgin St. Edward trailing by 5 with the basketball. Randall and Payne have both been cold. They'll keep firing. Again, no result.
St. Edward now 1 of 9 from 1 of 10 make it from 3-point territory.
And you can see by the look on Coach Kent Payne's face that the shots are not falling. Stivers can take that shot. He's hit 34 threes this year, but that will not be number 35. Again, it is Payne. Again, it is too hard. Rebound fought for. Green Wave all over it.
Yeah, good effort that time by St. Edward to work the offensive boards.
Jason Phillips in the ball game, number 5. That's not even going to be close, and it's heading out of bounds. Well, right now, Chris Payne just has to talk to himself and say, forget about all of that, and I have to play for what's in front of me, not what I've already done here.
I think you make a good point. If you're a good scorer and a good shooter like Chris Payne, you got to forget about all the misses because you know the makes are going to come.
Sparks is wide open. Nice block by Randall. Well, Sparks said, gee, looks like it's open. I'm going to go there, and Randall came up and got one of those almost from behind blocks. You'll see the good reaction.
Yeah, once again, Sparks on a quick move. A nice block. Randall comes from nowhere, seemingly, and just a nice block on that particular play. Sparks is quick with that first step. Randall's there with the block.
Well, the reason Sparks hesitated is because there was no one under the rebound. It was 1-on-3, and now a personal foul on Jason Phillips, the 5'8", 160-pound junior for the Green Wave. All the starters for Elgin are seniors. Check that, Roslin is a junior. But all the starters for Findlay are definitely seniors.
For St. Edward right now, you got to feel pretty good. You're only trailing by 5 points, and you know, you really haven't played very well because you shot the basketball, you know, not good at all. 5 of 23.
Stivers outside, just a little bit short. Roslin will clear. either Randall or Payne just have to find the bottom of the net. I think they'll get loose. Down low it goes to David Thompson, who's in the game, and he'll go to the free throw line. David Thompson, another one of those seniors off the bench for Coach Kent Payne.
See, I liked what they were able to do that time. St. Edward, look, see how they were able to finally work. They weren't living for the perimeter. They got the basketball inside. When that happens, good things happen.
And really, you want to make this game a little closer by the half, if in fact you are St. Edward, because Eric Smith, the big man for Findlay, is on the bench with 3 fouls, and you've got 6 minutes to make up some time because he's not showing up until after intermission.
Yeah, you're right. I think if you're going to make a run at him, now's the time to make a run when you've got one of the twin towers over on the bench in foul problems.
Phillips has taken only 18 free throws on the season prior to that miss. Well, at least Kent Payne doesn't hide his feelings. When he's disgusted, you can tell. Checking out right now will be Tony Sparks, and checking back in will be Joey Howell for the Falcons from Findlay.
When a team doesn't shoot the basketball well, though, other phases of the game seem to go down also. When you're shooting and scoring points, your confidence levels up, and the other parts of the game, notably defense, you can really turn it up.
Yeah, they break the pressure by going all the way down to Jason Tucker. And now Allen will just set it up. Setting up a double high post, or at least they were. Now they're going to shift off. Try to get it over to Stivers. No, Allen will pull up. That's going to be off the mark. Rebound Stivers. It'll not go. And the rebound comes down to Gary for St. Elgin. Or I should say St. Edward. I knew the Saints had it.
From Elgin.
You can get them both in that way. Payne driving, makes the move. Still can't get it to fall. Tip, no. Tipped around again. Coming out of there with it is Jeremy Chaney for Findlay. Needed that bucket. Stivers stops. Good shot.
Boy, a tough shot right there. Tough shot by Stivers. Tough shot. Stop. Quick up with a shot. Kiss off the glass.
Jason Randall was going to create something, and that he did with the personal foul against Findlay. Yeah, you love to see players come down, stop, and pop just like that, and especially off the glass.
Yeah, Stivers now the leading scorer in this ball game with 7 points, 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 from the line.
Again, Mr. Payne is 2 of 14. Randall is 0 of 4. And that is their outside shooting, basically. So you're 2 of 18 from the outside, and you trail by just 5.
St. Edward, they like that perimeter. They work the perimeter very well with the threes. They shoot 38% from three-point land. And coming into the ball game, they put up 678 threes and hit 261.
Which is right around the 40% mark. And if you're wondering why Payne is shooting, well, he's hit 30 points over 4 times this year and over 40 twice. The turnover the other way.
And you'd think Findlay would really be dominating on the scoreboard, but they're only up by 4 points.
Payne gets it over to Randall. Randall will drive and not get it. Randall almost had the rebound, but the Green Wave come up with it anyway. Nice drive, but it won't go. Tip Gary. Again, Gary. Yeah!
Good board work. Good board work that time by Gary. Stayed with it nicely. Had the drive. That didn't go. Kind of slapped it around, kept it alive, and he just persevered, hung in there, battled, worked hard. That's what rebounding's all about. Look at the shot, hangs around. Look at Gary, almost gets the tip. He's a battler, a fighter inside. Perseveres, finally gets it up on the glass and gets the shot to fall. Now St. Edward's back to within 2, and a free throw right here cuts his lead to 1.
My favorite rebounding quote from Dennis Rodman of the Pistons. I don't like to score, I like to rebound. That's unusual. 1918, we've got a ball game. One of your network sponsors is Milk. It does a body good, and the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Illinois and Iowa and Wisconsin. We mentioned that Findlay has but 96 students in its school. Well, in 1986, this Ohio squad came to Assembly Hall. At that time, 69 students. Man, you talk about a small squad. I mean, what are you doing this weekend? Well, I'm going to the game. I'm on the team. We're all on the team. I remember that squad, and those are the dreams that go into this history book that is the state tournament. Those schools, I remember the Cobden Apple Knockers and of course Hebron.
They're dreams for all these teams, for all these young men out here playing tonight. This is a dream come true also.
Allen quickly the other way. Stivers in a hurry, won't get it to fall, and Gary is making his presence felt in this ball game, especially with Eric Smith on the sideline for Findlay with those 3 fouls. Gary penetrates, gets it over to Randall. Not there. Rebound fought for. We've got a whistle and a foul on Chris Payne. From behind. Chris Payne and of course Kent Payne, the coach, they are related.
Cousins.
And of course Chris Payne lives with his uncle, who happens to be that man's father, and it's an interesting story because Jim Payne, who has been a football coach for many years in Illinois and who is about to set himself into the Illinois Football Hall of Fame, is suffering from Lou Gehrig's disease. And the reason that Chris Payne moved in with his uncle is to help him around the house. As it turns out, Jim has been an inspiration for Chris, teaching him there's a lot more to life than basketball and girls and cars. And of course, it took me a long time to figure that girls part out. Out front, Payne got it. And guess who's got the lead? Elgin of St. Edwards up by the digit with 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Oh, nice play by Gary again, but he stepped out of bounds or turned it over.
Carried the basketball.
Man.
See what happens though when you start scoring some points.
You're right.
You know, you really start to pick up your game. The other parts of the game really start to pick up. Payne gets a basket, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Payne come back on the offensive end and get a basket. Might even make a big steal defensively on this possession. But you can just see that little twinkle in his eye now after he got that shot down.
Well, that's part of their forte. They forced 23 turnovers a game, and they've just gotten another one. And who was it? It was Gary.
Yeah, and I think Payne wants a shot.
He does, but he can't get it. Gary will spin, and traveling is the call, or double dribble. Whichever, we have a turnover.
Turnovers, Findlay with 11, St. Edward with 7.
Inbounds pass, Allen has trouble with it, and turns it over. Payne, 1 against 3, will wisely wait for his mates.
He's just waiting for a rebounder, isn't he?
I think he was waiting for a pick, actually. Gary shut off along the baseline. There's David Thompson, number 41. Randall has yet to hit. Thompson off the glass.
Great move by Thompson. Slips in through the defense. Thompson off the bench is really giving him a lift. Nice leaner there off the glass. And St. Edward now with a 3-point advantage, 22-19.
Stivers with a little stutter dribble. He goes down and forces things and gets himself a trip to the free throw line. Yeah, Thompson came in averaging just 2 points, but you know the statistics lie when you look at reserves off the bench.
See Thompson though, see how he slips through right there. That's a power move right there. Thompson gets it up off the glass and really takes it up over Clayton Stivers. Stivers intimidating a little bit inside. Didn't seem to bother Thompson. David Thompson knocks in the 2-pointer. Back the other way. As we're going to see Clayton Stivers at the line. 68%. 14-4 run by St. Edwards.
Whew. And Stivers can't get it to fall.
Well, you felt that momentum shift a little bit, though, didn't you, when Eric Smith picked up his 3rd personal foul? You felt that shift a little bit as St. Edward came alive, knocked down some shots from the outside.
That man you saw moments ago, Mike Reynolds, certainly felt it. What he's saying to himself now is, let's just keep it close, get Eric back in the ball game in the 3rd quarter, keep him out of foul trouble. Thompson cutting through, not there. Payne way outside.
Payne warming to the task now. Payne in double-figure scoring. Payne now with 10 points to lead all scorers. Stivers for Findlay with 8.
Stivers for 3.
Answer!
Yeah. I think it's about time to loosen our ties. Harms with the basketball. Can he get another? Yeah.
Oh, that confidence is starting to rise a little bit.
And that's what shooting is.
It's all confidence.
It's practice, too, but it's confidence. Allen stops, pops, hits. Well, you got to like the pace of this game if you're offensive-minded. Randall Down on the block, Gary against Stivers, gets it to fall.
Tough shot inside that time, Gary. Had to lean back to get away from Stivers, put a little nice high arch on it, got the shot to fall.
Stivers is breathing a little heavy out there. He's taking a rest as his team sets up the offense, but I'm sure if he gets the ball in his hand, he'll know what to do. Sparks, tough shot, won't go. Stivers got the rebound, lost the rebound. Minute 42 remaining here in the first half, and as we have duly noted, the tide has turned the way of the Green Wave. And where do you get a name like the Green Wave? That's another great thing about Class A basketball, because in small towns, these names pop out of nowhere. A sports writer was sitting near the Fox River in Elgin and saw the waves, and he said, hey, I've got an idea.
We're going to name him the Green Wave.
That's exactly how it transpired.
Well, I'm glad you told that story and not me. I'm not sure anybody would have believed me. Now, what river was it by?
Fox River. Joe's Passion is standing by courtside. Joe, take it away.
We have a very special presentation at Meet here. A gentleman that has been here for 30 years, Art Kimmel, the Illinois High School Association Radio Network. Is a very special presentation.
Indeed we do, Joe. To Art Smith of WFRX in West Frankfort. To Art from the Illinois High School Association, your 30th year consecutively in coverage of the Illinois State Tournament. Congratulations. What do you remember most? That's a tough question, isn't it?
Well, I remember a lot. You know, I think the biggest thrill we had was when West Frankfort came here in '86. Our own team. We had our own team to root for. It's thrilling to have Benton here, watch the Southern Illinois teams. It's been a lot of fun.
Congratulations, Art, and we hope you're back here for another 30 years or so.
Well, so do I.
Absolutely, Art. Good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Art. And Art Smith is not only a broadcaster, but the owner of the station, so you better be coming back here.
Part owner.
All right, we'll make sure the other guy gets it. Thank you, Art Kimball, and let's send it back over to our guys who are looking forward to being here. 30 years down the road, can you see Jim Albrecht and Greg Sterick being here? I could, but with not as much hair.
I was about to say they'll have to tone down the camera lights because the shine will be a little bit too much for everybody at home.
I know Art Smith personally, and he's a veteran broadcaster, and he's meant a whole lot to Southern Illinois basketball.
Full court pressure applied. They break it nicely. Green Waves coming. Baseline Gary. Ooh, that was a close call. I don't know if the man was set up or not, but Gary bowled into him, but the official said he was not set. So the foul will go against Findlay. Joey Howe will pick up his second personal. There you see Mike Reynolds in his 12th year. He's compiled 231 victories. I wonder if he remembers every one of them.
He's very subdued, isn't he, over there on that bench? Very subdued. I doubt if Findlay's played very often without Stivers and Smith in the ballgame, and both of them are sitting alongside of Mike Reynolds.
A nice rebound inside by Randall because the big men are gone. So Thompson will set up the offense. They're going to look for Payne up top, and there he is. But open is Harms. Harms will fade and hit.
Nice bucket that time. Arms was a nice kick, too, by Chris Payne. Very unselfish play, and Arms knocked down the jumper.
Well, the lead is up to 7. Could they get it to a double-digit lead without the big man in? Down low they go. Ball taken away. Jason Tucker lost the handle trying to pass it back inside the lane, and Randall will just wait. He was waiting for Gary to open up inside on the bounce pass.
Well, this is quite a turnaround, quite a comeback by St. Edward. Findlay actually led by as many as 7 at 15-8, and now it's St. Edward on top by 7 at 32-25.
And when you're on a roll, you don't hang for the last shot. You give it to that guy, but it's a little too hard. Oh, Randall, I don't know what Randall might have lost track of that. Payne with a nice dish, and a foul as Thompson will go to the line.
Well, Payne looks like he's going to go up to shoot. He draws all the traffic. A nice dish right there, as you called it too, Jim. And Thompson very active. A good catch by Thompson. And Thompson looking for the basketball. Couldn't get the shot to go, but Thompson's going to go to the line. And Mark Roslin also comes in for St. Edward. And Tom Gary is going to find a seat for the final 42.7 seconds.
Yeah, the two subs for Findlay, Jeremy Chaney and Jason Tucker, have been seeing a lot of time in this first half with the foul trouble for Findlay.
Such a cold start shooting the basketball for Kent Payne's ball club, St. Edward. They were one of their first 14 field goal attempts to start the basketball game, and now they've really warmed to the task. They're 12 of 37 now from the floor, 3 of 16 from three-point land.
I know there's a lot of Princeton fans sitting at home maybe watching this saying, boy, that could have been us down there, and it almost was, because the super sectional game against the Elgin St. Edward Green Wave was pretty tight, but you know what turned it around? A three-pointer by Mr. Payne, and he was fouled on the play. The other way, Howell gets it to fall, and that's a big bucket for Findlay. They need to get some points before they hit the intermission. They trail by 7. Now we may see a final shot situation for the Green Wave.
I think they're going to be patient and get the final shot.
Well, maybe not. Randall, yeah, they will.
Let me coach you a little bit right here.
Go for it.
Come on, fellas. Let's back it out. You got it down to 10 now. Let's take that last second shot. Put the ball in the hands of Chris Payne. Kind of spread out. Set a pick. Let him work.
Up. No good, but let's go to the foul line. Good coaching. Good work. St. Edward out of the Suburban Catholic League from Kane County. Their enrollment is 622. I know we've mentioned that the Falcons' enrollment is but 96, and you'll see the coach's instructions.
Well, just a clear-out play for Payne, and Payne takes it all the way. And 4 defenders of Findlay just collapsed on him, and one of them picked up the personal foul. And so it'll be Chris Payne at the line, and this guy's been deadly at the stripe, 85%.
Not this time. Thompson almost had the rebound. Howell instead. 1 second. Throw it up, Jim Allen. It'll go over the board, and we are over with the first half from Assembly Hall. St. Edwards of Elgin has come back thanks to some foul trouble from Findlay. We'll be talking with one of these coaches in just a moment. But again, when you got one of your big men with 3 fouls with 6 minutes remaining in first half, you got problems. And of course, Stivers sit out 5 minutes of that last quarter.
Well, I think a key was when Eric Smith got some foul problems. They had the advantage on the inside. They were able to go to Stivers and also Eric Smith, and it was a good start by Smith until he got into foul problems.
Joe Passion has the leading coach at halftime standing by. Joe?
Watching the game early, you'd wonder when they're going to come back and how they're going to do it. And I would imagine you want to keep it going in the second half. How will you do it?
Well, I don't know. As long as we make a couple shots, we'll be all right. And we came out, we just couldn't.
Whoever stands on top at the end of this encounter will face Benton. That, of course, will come your way tomorrow afternoon, but we will be your way at 11 o'clock bright and early in the morning as Normal U-High takes on Augusta Southeastern. It's always exciting, Greg, when you have an undefeated team in the Final Four because the pressure just keeps building.
Well, I think you're right, and they're an awful good basketball team, but we've seen some good basketball here today.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I enjoyed this first half of play. Findlay raced out early, grabbed that 7-point lead, and St. Edward just couldn't find the range from the outside. Their shooters were ice cold. They opened up, hit one of their first 14 field goal attempts. They began to warm up. As they knocked down shots, confidence began to build. Smith in some foul problems. You know, right now, St. Edwards, they're really controlling the basketball game.
And, of course, if you are the Elgin St. Edward Green Wave, you want to concentrate on trying to get the ball inside to Gary at the start of the second half because that's where the big men are. If you can get 4 on Smith, you've got the ultimate advantage, but I don't know if that'll happen.
Well, I think Smith's an awful good ball player. Stivers is awful good on the inside, but I do agree that St. Edward can get the basketball inside to Gary, and now as they're starting to knock down some shots from the outside, the inside's going to open up. But I also thought a player off the bench. I thought Thompson really gave him a lift. Really went the boards hard for him. He was a contributor, made some free throws, made a basket, and they were able to find him to come in and give him a lift on the inside, too.
And if you forget about that start from Chris Payne and just look at the last 5 minutes of the second quarter, that's the Chris Payne everybody has been talking about.
Well, when you talk about Chris Payne, you know, if he misses a few shots, that's not going to bother him. He's still going to light it up. He led everyone with 13 points in the first half.
Don't go away. The nets are still cold when these two teams are concerned because they're going to warm them up. We'll return after these local messages.
here at halftime here at Assembly Hall. St. Ed's with the lead here at the break. And one thing that we've had an opportunity to talk about here at Assembly Hall is not only the great shooting that's going on here, particularly on the Class A level, and a lot of it's coming from the perimeter. And as we mentioned earlier, the three-point shootout contest that will be finalized next weekend in the AA tournament. And one of the gentlemen who is somewhat a proponent, somewhat a critic, Dick Lady is the head basketball coach, and Lena Winslow. And give us what your positives and negatives are, Dick, about pulling the kids out for the three-point shootout preliminaries.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for the players who would not play on the floor to come down here and show what great shooters they are. It's also a great opportunity for them to show A versus AA and see who's the best shooters in the state. I think the timing of when they run the contest before the regional could be a little better planned. I don't like somebody going out before a ball game and shooting in a contest there, but I think it's an opportunity. We've got 32 Class A players that are going to be here that aren't here this weekend, and it's going to be great for them.
Well, I think you really said it very well, and very honestly, while we were on the break, Dick says, you know, this is a tournament I really love being here as a coach, but the AA tournament as a fan, and I think it just adds to that great environment of the AA tournament next weekend.
Oh, I think the three-point contest and the slam dunk contest are going to make it a real festival.
One other thing, too, and Dick is not only a coach, a fan, but also is here helping the IHSA in its sportsmanship award. Dick is one of the many people who are representing the IHSA and tallying up points for the teams on this sportsmanship award. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, our committee is grading teams and fans and coaches on respect and pride and leadership and ingenuity, and trying to pick out a team that represents the greatest sportsmanship team in Class A basketball this year at the state tournament. And we're going to have an individual player who will be the greatest sportsman, and I think it's a concept that the IHSA has studied, something that we need to do. We need to recognize and reward good sportsmanship.
Dick, thanks for coming along here at halftime. We hope you enjoy the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right, Dick Lady, and we will be back with more of this Class A quarterfinal finale here on this Friday, and we'll be back right after these messages from our local stations.
We are back at Assembly Hall. As you can see, the Green Wave have an advantage. It wasn't always that way, but they started chipping away early. They got down early, but they came back when they needed to, especially when the inside was vacated with big men. Stivers didn't get into foul trouble late in the second quarter. He actually ran out of gas.
Yeah, I thought fatigue was a real problem for him. Smith is the guy that got in foul problems, picked up 3 fouls, and had to spend a lot of time on the bench. And they need both those players to play well here in the second half.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights here in the fourth quarter final game.
A good look inside to Gary right there. A nice kick right there as Roslin slips in and gets a nice shot on the inside.
Sparks has played well for Findlay.
Well, he really crashes the offensive glass there real hard. Tony Sparks with a nice rebound basket that time for Findlay.
And when he gets the baseline, you better watch out.
Well, here he comes. The weak side help wasn't there. The shot goes up, and it goes down. But then real quick, back the other way, Chris Payne, he's the guy that's looking. Who's going to come into the picture? There he is, Mr. Gary. It's a nice little soft layup with the left hand.
The key in this first half, though, has to be the man in the middle for the Green Wave, and that's Gary, because he's just been everywhere.
Well, I love the way he stayed with us. Missed the shot, persevered right there, stayed with it nicely. Third time was the charm, and then he got the shot to fall. Look at Thompson work right there. Finds a seam in the D, up off the window, gets the deuce to go. Now here comes Payne right there from outside. Chris Payne, the finisher, the three-point shot for Chris Payne. Chris Payne now with 123 threes on the year. Look at the halftime stats. Field goal department, 32% for St. Edward, almost 41% for Findlay. Three-point field goals. St. Edward 3 of 16, 1 of 3 for Findlay. Free throws 7 of 11 for St. Edward, 4 for Findlay. Rebounds 21-19 edge for Findlay. Turnovers, Findlay 13 turnovers in the first half.
Those halftime statistics brought to you by Milk. It does a body good. Enjoy real dairy products. Look for the real seal in your grocer's dairy case. Joe Passion is standing by waiting for Coach Mike Reynolds of Findlay, who has...
Michael Reynolds, in the locker room at halftime, can you summarize for us what you were telling your kids to get back in the ball game?
Well, we got to rebound a little better than we're doing right now. They're getting too many rebounds. Smith's got to stay in the game, obviously. When he was in there, we was ahead. He got his third foul in the first quarter, and we've got to keep him in there. I don't think they can stop him if we can keep him in there.
All right, Michael, have a great second half.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much, Michael Reynolds. And in the meantime, let's send it back over to center court and Greg and Jim.
The second half tip-off headed your way. We'll return after these local messages.
As we start the third quarter, it's Elgin St. Edward possession. The second half is underway, and Gary is back underway just like he was in the first half. 36-27 now as the advantage grows for the Green Wave. Almost a steal in the backcourt by Harms. Allen somehow gets out of that three-man trap and drives, but doesn't score. Stivers lost the handle, but he was fouled, they say, by Harms.
Randall may be going to get that foul. Let's see who's going to get that personal foul.
It is Randall, corrected.
Randall.
Both of them there. Harms was disgusted with the call, I guess.
Gary with the only basket here in the second half. St. Edward now on top by 9.
Eric Smith, who had 3 fouls in the first half, had a nice touch on that one, but it wouldn't fall. Findlay can go up by double digits. Payne outside, count it.
Boy, that was perfect rotation on that one. Made a nice three-point shot there.
12-point lead with that three-pointer. Stivers tried to create something, but there was nobody home across the lane. You see Payne, he had that look right up front, about 30 feet away. He wanted it.
He has that look when he wakes up in the morning.
Gary with a finger roll. Gary gets his own rebound back. Can he score from there? He can.
Well, I like the way Gary's working inside on the boards. Their leading rebounder. That time a nice offensive stick back.
And what Findlay needs to do right now is just get it to Stivers like that and slow down and go back to their original game plan, which is pounded inside. They don't have to get into this up-tempo thing. Gary to the glass, too hard. And it's stolen away by Payne. Payne, will he make this? No. One against the world, and it's stolen from behind, but they say Randall got a hand on the man. You see, Payne hesitated. He said, I don't know. I'm open, but there's nobody down here but me.
I don't think he really hesitated. I think maybe he was looking to see if he was behind the line.
Yeah,
Make
you
sure
might be right.
Make sure it was the three. He's put up 12 threes. He's 4 of 12 now. 3-point in three-point shooting, 6 of 21 field goals.
And what an interesting phenomenon the three-pointer has created. People now back up to take a shot. In the days of old, your coach would have killed you if you didn't take the shot in close and backed up. And a whistle and a foul. Is that on Randall? Let's see.
I don't think so. I think that's going to be on Chris Payne. That was a little bump. Payne got a little bit too close and gave him a bump.
You're right. Chris Payne with his second foul. Hard to catch exactly who the personal foul is on because the officials are across the court from us when they put the fingers up to connotate the number. Howell. Sparks, who had a good first half. Now they get it inside. That's where they want it. Smith will get the soft touch. He has a very, very soft touch for a big man. And we're down to a 10-point deficit again for the Falcons. Payne wants it, doesn't get it. Rebound to Stivers. One thing Payne does exceptionally well is mesh up the defensive rebound. He stays around and gets in between the passing lanes, and now a turnover by Findlay.
Findlay a little rattled on the half court, and only two people right now that really need to get involved out of that half court offense. They need to let Eric Smith and Clayton Stivers work. I agree with what the coach had to say. I don't believe they can stop Smith once he catches inside.
We got a timeout on the floor. 10-point deficit for Findlay. One of your network sponsors is Radisson Sweets. This copyrighted broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the written consent of Cost Broadcast Sales Incorporated strictly prohibited. A turnover, and Findlay's back to within 8.
Yeah, Janie, a nice steal right there and gets it back quick and gets the two-pointer.
Remember what I said, you can't copyright that steal. And another turnover. Smith finds it in his hands, a baseball pass. That would have been a good idea, but not in this situation. Jeremy Chaney tried to find Stivers, and Stivers had his back to him.
Yeah, it wasn't a good, not a good decision that time to look for that that type of a pass. They need to get into some kind of an offensive set. Findlay making some changes. See how they're extending that defense up, then they're going to fall back. I think they're going to fall back into a zone defense. It's a 1-2-2 zone defense.
Nice pass to Thompson.
Yeah, good look inside. There's Thompson again. There's
and a long baseball pass.
Time.
Ooh, he almost walked with that. He almost walked with that. And again, when we point out a mistake by these 16 and 17 and sometimes 15-year-olds, remember, it looks a lot easier from our vantage point.
Sure. They're not mistakes. They're just out there hustling and working hard.
Long jumper from the side will not fall for Mark Roslin, and we've got a whistle and a foul on Mr. Thompson for the Green Wave. Findlay making its first ever Elite 8 appearance, although they are used to the Super Sectionals. Look at that turnover ratio.
Findlay's turned it over 18 times, only 9 for St. Edward. Good look at St. Edward head coach Kent Payne.
But again, Elgin uses this in their game plan. They force 23 turnovers a game. That's a lot of pressure that they put on people. Down low to Smith and a foul on Thompson before Smith could whirl and deal. So Thompson picks up his third personal foul for St. Edward.
Smith's so big inside. He's just a big body, 6'7" and about 230. Look at that post up. Look at the wide base right there of Smith. Nice catch.
And Howell just made a bucket while you were looking at that replay. So back come the Falcons. Nice dish, Gary.
Well, when you need a basket in this game, it's been Gary that's played big. Steps up and gets a big basket for you.
Gary's got that little scoop move. This man has the glass pretty much down pat. Eric Smith. As we go back and forth here at the Assembly Hall. 8-point advantage for the team with the basketball. Make it 11. Chris Payne for another 3. These guys don't give you much chance to catch your breath. Smith with the jam.
Good look inside, though. Stivers set it up. Nice look. Dish down low, and Smith with the finish.
Mercy me. 48-39 is our score. You know, this guy reminds me of Ted Klazuski, the old baseball player who always cut off his sleeves.
Boy, you're going way back on that one.
That's
Look
right.
at the look right there. Look at that. Jam time. Right there, he gets up, and Smith gets the jam. Give the assist to Clayton Stivers. Good look right there. Boy, goes the basket knife. Ooh, I'll call it a jam. He gets up and gets the jam. Almost didn't get it in, did he?
Close enough. Again, whoever survives this contest will take on Benton. Benton was fueled by 38 points by JoJo Johnson. And now let's go into the huddle with Mike Reynolds.
We got to keep him from scoring there, though. And rebound, okay? Come on. Go! Go! Let's go!
Kent Payne now drawing it up. The Mountain Man. He has not really decided what school he wants to go to yet, but there's got to be a few schools out here who can use a 6'7", 230-pound big man inside. Green Wave will kick it around. That's Roslin. Harms is number 23. And you know who this is. Payne took his eye off the basketball, got it back, won't nail it down. Here comes Findlay. He took his eye off the ball because he was already ready to shoot. It hit him in the head, and then he got it back and fired anyway. But to no avail. Smith, touch.
See,
nice
Findlay's
touch.
just pumping it inside, Jimmy. Just keep pumping it inside, and Smith keeps responding.
And they've got plenty of time. We've only gone 5 minutes through the third quarter here, so a lot of basketball yet to be played. And most importantly, Greg Sterrick, Smith has gone this entire quarter so far without a foul, so he's still sitting on 3 in the personal department.
And Findlay continues to play that zone defense. He's very active out top, but Smith and down low on the bottom, he's really not guarding anybody. Oh,
Gary gets it blocked by Smith.
Right there. Did challenge him.
Gary went in. Smith said, not tonight, man. 48-41. Findlay trailing by 7 has the basketball. The give and go to Sparks. It will not fall. Tipped out of there and out of bounds. It'll belong to the Green Wave. And look at Smith hustle. If I'm on the bench over there and I see 230 pounds hurtling at me, it's time for the old fire drill. Hit the deck.
Watch the effort here, right here. Look at him going for the basketball. Eric Smith. Oh, my. Look at that. Up over the top. 3 of those guys had their eyes closed.
Jumper not there. Brian Harms couldn't get it to fall. Payne will try, and in and out. Smith with the rebound. Stivers pulls up. He'll want glass. He'll get glass. 48-43 now. Trailing by 5. Whew, what a game we've got.
Now Smith and Stivers now combined for 27 points.
Almost an over and back. Taken away by Sparks. Fouled on the way up by Jason Randall. Well, Tony Sparks just kept after it. And there you see the look of dejection on Kent Payne's face. Fellas, we were up by double digits, but they're pounding it inside.
Yeah, there's the shot right there. Nice soft touch by Stivers off the window for the 2-pointer. Here comes Sparks. He'll come in. Look at him going after the basketball. Right there. There's Sparks. Picks it up. Back the other way. He's going to get a 2-pointer. Then Randall comes into the picture right there. Almost right in your living room or family room, and picked up the foul.
And it was Stivers on the point of that defensive pressure that set that up by knocking the ball away.
Well, St. Edward had a 14-point advantage. 41-27.
The ebbs and the flows of this game. Missed that second one. High for the rebound. Stivers back up. No. Stivers again and a whistle holding play and a foul on Mr. Stivers. Well, you can't give him anything but an A for effort on that one.
Now the shot didn't go. He was battling inside. Good defensive work there. And then you see Stivers coming right up over the back right there on the play. His arms, a nice check out as Stivers picked up now his 3rd personal foul. So Stivers and Smith both playing with 3 personal fouls. Yeah, they've extended the defense here up to half court. It's still a zone. It's a trap, but it's a half court trapping zone defense.
Open is Payne. The other way is Stivers. He'll slow it up and wait for some help. Allen's the man with the basketball. Stivers looking for Smith. He's there. It's up. It's good. It's a 2-point ball game.
Smith now with 16 points.
They really need Payne to light it back up again. or get it inside to Gary, but Gary has been challenged inside. Randall, big shot, not there. Rebound Sparks.
Yeah, they're only getting one opportunity, too, and they're all from long range or not getting anything done on the inside.
Under a minute remaining in the third quarter. Howell for the tie. Got it. Got it. His foot was on the line. 48-48. Gary the other way, counted.
Quick Indian action there.
30 seconds remaining.
St. Edward's still in that man-to-man defense. It's a pressure man-to-man. Smith and Stivers really going to work. Smith with 16, Stivers with 15.
Well, they'll go down to the big man if they can get him. Howell will try for another one. This one's short. Coming out of there with it is Gary with 12 seconds remaining in the quarter. So the Green Wave can go up by 4 or 5 with the 3. They're going to look for Payne in the corner. No! Randall will take it in. No, it won't go. Good idea, though. Good idea. And that's the way the third quarter will come to a close. St. Edward's lead has all but disappeared. Findlay coming back with the big men. Trailing by 2. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Ability to this team and to do a lot of different things. You see him penetrating inside, going down the baseline, coming back up, and then taking himself to the foul line. When you have 2 people like that with Pearson and Brooks, what a dynamite duo on that on the forecourt.
Yeah, they certainly can get things done too, and you've got to guard all the exits as they like to see some daylight and take it to the hoop. Michael Pearson, who got the starting call today, as we mentioned, instead of Kelvin Johnson at one of those guard spots for Bobby Donewald. Only 53% from the free throw stripe. Didn't look like at that time. Buried 2 dead center to get Western Michigan back to within 9. 41-32. Toledo with that edge in the basketball. Sutters, look at the work inside. Got body from Mark Judge and Jim Havrilla. Craig Sutters will go to the line. Personal foul is going to go on Havrilla. Sutters again, just seeing a little bit of crease. Lucan taking it.
Here you see him getting the ball inside. And you're right, Mike. Once he sees a crease, all he has to do is see a little bit of daylight, and he hits that open position. There wasn't probably more than 6 or 7 inches for him to get through, but he got through.
So Craig Sutters coming off just an outstanding night against Miami. As we talked about in the first half, in case you're just joining us, Sutters rang up 18 points on 8 of 9 from the floor. He picked off 14 rebounds, and he rejected 7 Miami shots. I'd say that's a very sound 40 minutes of basketball.
Let me add 2 more things. 2 assists, and he also had 2 steals.
Yeah, well, and then those 2 look real good next to your name in the box score. Sutters just buried both. Craig has a total of 11. Judge got a step on Tommy Best, went to take him baseline. All Best could do was grab him across the arm and pick up the foul.
Mark Judd going in very quickly. The only thing that Tom Best needs to do is put that foot on the baseline. You have to get over there, cut that lane off, and keep him out.
Tommy Best going to check out. Checking in Rhett Dallas for Toledo's Rockets. Dallas started to get much more extensive playing time. Hey, how about a hometown for this guy? Bloomington, Indiana. You think he doesn't know a little bit about basketball? Sutters has leaked out. Get up. Sutters took it to the hoop, had to redirect. We've got a whistle and a foul underneath on the push from Mark Judge. You know, look, we've seen the likes of Joe Moore and Lewis Jeter. When Craig Sutters gets out on the open floor, he will get up toward that rack with anybody.
Here you see him flying. He should have just jammed it, I think, in that situation. Maybe his footstep was off just a little bit because he got it over his left shoulder.
I think maybe Havrilla had a little bit to do with that, too. Jimmy's got to check out right now. Mark Judge got hit with the personal foul, his 4th. And Dion Davenport checks back in. You see Jim Havrilla, the 6'10", 245-pounder, having a seat. Sean Whiteman will have to check in now for Mark Judge. So the twins are on the floor for Bob Donewald, Scene and Sean Whiteman. Dion Davenport, 4th on Judge. Luke, I think Toledo can get some things done inside now, looking at this defensive set of Western.
No question about it.
I say that. Murphy fires up a 22-footer for 3. Got nothing but glass. Coming the other way, Kelvin Johnson for Western Michigan. Dion Davenport lost at baseline, turnover Western.
I think that's just youthism with Murphy taking that three-point shot, because definitely the beef is on the bench for Western, and Toledo can take an effect on it.
Both ball clubs will talk to their respective coaches, Jay Eck and Bob Benewald. It's Toledo by 11 here in Kalamazoo.
Youthism.
Our game summary brought to you by Toyota.
Well, when you look at the game summary for St. Edward, it's been Gary with 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 of 26 from the three-point line. Smith in the third quarter with 10 points, and that's been the difference, and he's got 16 in the ball game now.
The Toyota dealers of Illinois, I love what you do for me, Toyota. Allen wants a three. In and out. Rebound comes down to Harms. So the Green Wave escape, losing the lead.
That shot kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought they'd go right to either Smith or Stivers.
Payne has 16 three-point attempts. The record for attempts from three is 17. Underneath, won't go. Mark Roslin had what he wanted, just couldn't get it to fall. Most of the games today have been decided before the final 5 minutes of the final quarter, but I don't know about this one. Oh, he's open. Stivers is open. He'll make him pay. 50-50.
Well, those two guys are tough, the Twin Towers down low.
And a whistle and a foul out front. Stivers will pick up the personal.
Good kick inside. Stivers right there. Nice play by Stivers on the inside. When you come back the other way, picks up his fourth personal foul on the defensive end.
So Stivers with 4, Smith with 3. Gary with the basketball. Off the glass, won't go. Roslin back up and in. Big bucket by Mark Roslin ahead of the offense, and the defense is Smith.
Well, Smith, an excellent job of running the floor, and he gets the easy basket there.
Randall, Payne, not enough. That ties the record for attempts. Payne underneath, scoops won't go. Gary trying to fight for the rebound, but he didn't want to foul, so Sparks came out of there with it. Allen again the other way. My goodness, another three.
Oh, big three, big three.
Finlay with the lead and the steal almost by Stivers. Stivers better be careful. He's playing with 4. This place is going to go up for grabs here in a moment. The coach is saying, I'm not giving you the ball back until you run the offense right against this half-court defense.
Did you see the three by Jim Allen? Oh, once again, it even surprised me that he put the shot up from the outside. Big three by Jimmy Allen.
Well, he's taken 145 three-point attempts before this night commenced, so he's used to it. Open is Randall. In and out. Smith with the rebound, 6 minutes left. Down low it goes to Smith. 4 men are on him, and he's fouled. 4 men were on him when he got that shot off.
Well, the ball was able to go inside once again. Smith very active inside. It's a good kick inside by Sparks. Look at Smith right there. He's so strong, and it takes 4 of them to keep him from shooting the basketball. Smith is fouled on the play, and on the year, Smith is 65% free throw shooter, and into the lineup is 32, Jason Tucker for Findlay. He replaces Clayton Stivers, who's going to get a little bit of a rest. He's playing with 4 personal fouls. Smith knocks down the free throw, and Findlay now up by 4 at 56-52.
And if you don't think basketball can help you see the world, Eric Smith spent last summer touring Australia with a group of high school all-stars. So when he says make, he means it. 57-52, Findlay suddenly up by 5. And now we have some discussion on the court as to whether or not there was a timeout called or not. And yes, indeed, that is the case. But now, Coach Mike Reynolds says, no, there was no timeout. We don't want a timeout, so we'll get this thing back underway. And if you've noticed, and I'm sure you have, the touch has gone away from Chris Payne again here in the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Well, he's 7 of 28 from the floor. He's really struggling shooting the basketball. He has attempted 17 threes, and that ties the state record.
Gary against Smith, doesn't get it. He was intimidated a bit. Smith let him go, but Gary didn't know that as he was leaving his feet. Can Findlay stay on a roll? Look at Smith working the blocks down there. They're picking across for him down low. And Allen getting a lot of pressure out front.
That's just tough for St. Edward to match up with that man-to-man defense because they don't have anyone that can match up with Smith.
Smith, little 8-footer, not there. Smith does not get the rebound because Randall out-hustled him. You all know what the Green Wave need right now. They need that. 57-55. It's back to a 2-point game.
Well, that's 18 attempts now, so that sets the state record. And Payne now 6 of 18 from three-point territory. And, boy, they needed that basket.
Howell driving off the glass. Joey Howell.
Yo, great drive. One thing in mind, take it to the hoop, and Howell got the basket.
Payne from outside the gymnasium almost. And Smith with the rebound. Well, had that fallen, that would have gotten a few people up on their seats.
He dialed that one up, didn't he?
Man, can you shoot from another county? Is that illegal?
Another area code, maybe.
And a foul on Thompson.
I think that's Thompson's 5th personal foul.
Let's check it.
I think he's going to foul out of the ball game. Yeah, that's 5.
That's from the way he's reacting. It is indeed his 5th. Checking back in will be Mark Roslin. And we have a 1-and-1 coming your way.
Now, Thompson fouls out with 7 points on the evening.
Well, Mike Reynolds looks a little more relaxed, but he has the same expression he had in the first half when St. Edwards was making that run.
That's because he knew that he was going to have Smith available for the second half. What a turnaround this has been. It was a 14-point advantage by St. Edward, and now they're trailing in the ball game by 4 at 59-55. And you know, Findlay's had a lot of players step up and have good ball games, and you know, the play of Sparks has just been outstanding. We talk a lot about his offense, but he's also got 11 rebounds in the game.
And he's got that free throw for a 5-point lead. The 3-point record for shots made in a game, in case you're wondering, is 7. Mark Baden of Shelbyville in the 1990 Super Sectional. Chris Payne of St. Edward in this game. And we do have a timeout. I'm sorry, in the Super Sectional. Well, he's actually, yeah, you're right. I bet he has 7 before the night's over. One of your network sponsors, the Toyota dealers of Illinois.
Down here on the court, if you're wondering why there are JPs on the shorts of St. Ed's, stands for Jim Payne. He's Kent Payne's father. He's done so much for this club. It's their way of paying him back. The number's 32 minutes to their next goal. That, of course, is how many minutes in a game. 96 minutes to their biggest goal. That is being a state championship. In fact, even the coaches wear 32 and 96 on their wrist on a Band-Aid. That's how much faith this team is bringing into this game. Back to Jim and Greg.
Nice stuff there by Joe. Nice stuff.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. And we will be picking our American Airlines Player of the Game when this game is over, as well as showing you our DuPont play of the game. Inside, Gary gets stripped, tries to fight back for it, and he is fouled. Persistence paid off for Tom Gary of Elgin St. Edward. That, of course, will not be a bonus situation. Only the 3rd team foul on Findlay here in the second half, so that's much to their advantage as well. Chris Payne, by the way, has 6 3-pointers. 1 more will tie that record set by those 2 other people we mentioned. Nice dish to Gary. Gary has a very tough shot because Smith was right there. And now the momentum has shifted back to the men with the basketball. They're up by 6, and they can take their sweet time, pound it inside. Allen in and out. Look at that. Now that is boxing out, folks. That ball fell to the floor between 4 St. Edward players. Payne, and that is painful for him because the ball won't fall. We've got a whistle and a foul on Jason Randall. And we'll go the other way for free throws.
Shots just aren't falling for Chris Payne. He's now 8 of 31 from the floor, 6 of 19. And see, it's a little leaner, but see, that's a tough shot.
It is.
He's leaning in the lane area. That's a tough shot. Really shot the ball a little bit flat. Then you see the play inside. It's a battle inside. Randall picked up the personal foul. And you see Randall is he leaves the ball game, and he's fouled out with 2 points.
And that is 2 players for the Green Wave fouling out. David Thompson has also left the court with 5 personal fouls. When you look at Chris Payne, free throws in and out, and the tip is controlled by Findlay. Well, you can thank Mr. Tucker for that, because he knocked it back outside. Ball goes out of bounds. I was talking about Chris Payne. It reminds me a little bit of Mark Aubrey from Seneca last year in terms of the team relying so much on his outside shooting. Aubrey carried his team to the championship game, but Pittsfield ended up winning it. Fade away by Howe. Big shot. Joey Howe.
You know, players like Howe and also a guy like Jim Allen, they've really stepped up and knocked down some big shots, too. We spent a lot of time talking about the play of Smith and Stivers, but they've been big, too.
Now, you can't make that shot. There's 2 men on him. Smith out of there with the rebound. Here comes Allen. Allen will wait. Oh, no, he didn't take it. He did!
He didn't only take it, but he also knocked it down. Woo. Oh, those are big. Remember the other big 3 knocked down?
Man, Allen showing no fear. Bad pass picked off by Sparks, and this one might be over for Elgin St. Edward. A foul out front as Chris Payne is charged with a personal foul. And who in the world, how many batteries does Jim Allen have in him tonight? Anyway, he is charged. Now, when your team is up by a good margin, in this case 8, and there's nobody down to rebound, this is what you do, right, Greg?
Well, this is called confidence in your shooting stroke from outside. Look at Allen. Boy, just squares up, and Allen averages better than 11 points per ball game. You know, he's deadly from 3-point range. He's got his average up to about 40% from 3-point territory.
Okay, let's see how Coach Kent Payne is going to try to come back. Actually, that conversation was over, so let's check in with Mike Reynolds and company.
Mike Reynolds has done such a good job with his Findlay ball club. All year they were 28-2, but the job that he was able to do to get his ball club in position to challenge in the second half. It was tough going for him in that first half, Jim. If you recall, with one of the marquee players, Eric Smith, and foul problems, but he was very cool, very confident. Felt like once he could get Smith and Stivers in the ball game together in the second half, they could take control, and Smith really did that, especially in the third quarter. Had 10 big points for him in the third quarter. They're up by 11 points now. They've got it almost in cruise control here, but there's still plenty of time. 2:35 left in the ball game.
Well, there's been 3 different basketball games here tonight. The first one, of course, controlled by Findlay with the big men. Then when they got in foul trouble, Elgin St. Edward came back and took it. And then about 3 minutes into the third quarter, look out. Here comes Findlay. Allen, who averages 11 per game.
He also does a good job really running the ball club. He's also got 6 assists from that point guard spot.
Misses the second one, but now will need a slew of 3s from either Payne or one of his mates.
Yeah, they got to look for the 3 now.
That is from way outside, and it won't go. Rebound comes down to you-know-who. Eric Smith. Allen, nice bounce pass to Smith. Floater, in and out. I think he'll be called for the charge, or was there a block? It will be a block against, a charge on Eric Smith.
Smith doing a good job running the floor, but a little surprised on this play. You see Smith go up, and you see the charging foul. And really, on that particular possession, I was a little surprised that Findlay didn't back it out. They don't really need points. They need to run time off that clock right here. They're enjoying a 12-point advantage. 2:16 left in the ball game.
I think that was Jason Phillips taking that charge. He only weighs 160. Smith, of course, has about 70 or 80 pounds on him. Roslin inside. Gary, needed that one. 2 minutes left to go. It is a 10-point deficit. Up ahead again is Smith, but he'll kick it out and eat some clock.
See, that's the decision they should have made on that last possession. We talk about Gary. Gary's had 19 points in the ball game, and he's had a tremendous basketball game for St. Edward.
And Sparks will go to the free throw line. Just about everybody on this ball club has contributed. You look at Allen with the three-pointers. Howell's hit some big buckets. You know what Smith and Stivers have done. And Sparks, an unsung hero, coming in with an 8-point average, but playing far, far above that tonight.
Well, the other thing he's done is really gone to glass hard. That's where I think Sparks has really given us some help. He only averages 4 rebounds per contest, but in this one, he's been big on the glass. Had 12 rebounds in the ball game.
Jason Tucker is checked out, and Stivers is back in. A free throw not there, and that is what the Green Wave need. They need missed charity tosses. The pick for Payne. Oh, he's going to have to force that one, and that's the result. Tip Gary now. Rebound Sparks, and he's fouled. Gary made a nice effort to try to get that tip back in, but as you can see, when you're down by 10, the defense knows where to hang. They're hanging on the perimeter. That makes it doubly tough for a guy like Payne.
Oh, and how quick a ball game can slip away from him. You know, Findlay had the early lead, and St. Edward was able to take control of the basketball game in the first half, and you know, St. Edward led by as many as 14 in the ball game at 41 to 27, and you know, then all of a sudden, look at it now. It's a 10-point advantage for Findlay.
And they get a good look at Tony Sparks, and he gets a good look at the net. Normal U High opened up the quarterfinal round with a 55-34 victory over Sherrard. That was followed by Augusta Southeastern taking care of Fairfield 59-44. Benton beat St. Martin de Porres 64-50, and now Findlay has a 12-point advantage over Elgin St. Edward. Howell with a steal. Allen. Stivers is wide open, but Allen said, no, we got to get rid of some time here. Don't forget, we'll be naming our American Airlines American Eagle Player of the Game shortly, as well as our DuPont Play of this contest.
You know, and I'm sure we're going to probably select one player, this American Airlines American Eagle player of the game. It has been a very balanced attack, but Eric Smith is the American Airlines player of the game. The American Eagle, American Airlines player of the game. Eric Smith, 20 points, 14 coming in the second half, 12 rebounds, 9 of 13 from the floor.
And remember, he set a good portion of the second quarter on the bench. American Airlines and American Eagle, something special in the air.
Findlay's much more than just Eric Smith and also Clayton Stivers. This is a good basketball team. They started slow, but they're a much better team. I think you'll agree. Won't take a real top-notch analyst to figure this out, that they're better with Stivers and Smith on the floor, aren't they?
That's correct. And of course, when you come here for your first ever elite appearance like Findlay has, it's good to get off the snide. Elgin, of course, has been here before, but that is what it looks like when it's not going your way.
That's what you call disappointment, isn't it?
It's part of life. If you learn how to handle disappointment, you'll be able to handle happiness a lot better as well. But in a game like this, you'll want to move on, but only one team can. A lot of substitutes in now for the Green Wave, and getting it to fall is number 45, Joel Scarta. Joel Scarta in the ball game now, along with Justin Relahan, number 21. Also in there for the Green Wave, Brett Fleury. Aaron Demuth, number 53, is also in there. You get a shot of Brett Fleury there. You come this far, everybody's got to play. You just got to. Stivers looking to put it just a little further out of reach.
Stivers now with 18 points. Once again, you see a very disappointed St. Edward basketball team.
And I'm sure probably the most disappointed man will be Chris Payne, because he feels he let his mates down. But as you duly noted this afternoon when we were talking about another star of his team, hey, he was the ticket here.
Sure, it's disappointment, but at the same time, I think he's also going to be very, very proud of what this basketball team's been able to accomplish. 23-7 on the year, and you know, there's only going to be one basketball team that's going to go out a winner in Class A basketball this year. Only one team, and you know, the ball clubs that are able to get here, you know, I think it says a lot for their programs, and their communities need to be awful proud of the job that St. Edward's done this year. And for the others, you know, Findlay, very, very excited, very happy, and this is a big, big victory for them. Still a minute to go in the ball game, and Findlay up 72-59 over St. Edward.
You saw Tony Sparks checking out. Kip Coppers was the man who missed that last shot for the Green Wave. Checking into the ball game now for Findlay as Michael Beam will replace Tony Sparks. In and out. And we are down to the final minute of the quarterfinal round at Assembly Hall in Class A basketball. By tomorrow night at this time, we'll have you a state champion. And how many, I wonder what the percentage of human beings are on the face of the earth who can say, yes, I played on a state championship team.
Or that even played in the Assembly Hall.
Yeah. We've got to fight for the ball. Michael Beam gets it down to Stivers. Ooh, that could have been dangerous. That could have been dangerous. Stivers looks like he's going to be okay. He says, I'm all right. Brett Fleury got under him a bit. And I'm sure he didn't do that intentionally. He's just hustling down.
No, I don't think so. A good look there to Stivers. Stivers went for the jam and, really just bumped him. And where he bumped him right there around that waistline and gave him a little push. And when he did, the legs went out from under him. But no, I don't think that was any type of a flagrant foul by any means.
The starters are checking out for Coach Michael Reynolds. There you see one of the substitutes, Dustin Pruitt. Also into the ball game is John Pruitt. And Mrs. Pruitt.
Michael Beam's in also.
Yeah, Michael's been in for a little bit. Number 44 is also in the ball game, Cameron Lawrence. And at the free throw line, of course, Mr. Stivers, who you will see tomorrow afternoon. And now checking in for Findlay, Tyler Bradford will give Stivers a chance to get congratulated on the bench. Mike Reynolds asking, are you okay? Is that hip all right? And he says, well, it's better than Mike Ditka's. Long jumper from the outside by Justin Reelahan, not there. Reelahan will get it back up, and he'll go to the free throw line as he was fouled underneath. And we hope Mr. Ditka is recovering well. We speak, of course, of his hip surgery, but when you play in the NFL like Mike Ditka played in the NFL, your body parts are just not usable after a while. Of course, they say that Mike Ditka, when he gets out of the hospital, he was operated on yesterday, he'll be back in action in 3 months. So knowing Iron Mike, that means about 3 weeks.
Yeah, best wishes to Mike. Who knows? He's probably watching us.
I hope so. Justin Reelahan will try to get into the book. And he does. And now another substitute coming in for the Green Wave. That will be Ben Crane. Ben Crane checks in, and Reelahan will go out.
St. Edward's put up 34 three-point field goals in this ball game and only hit on 6 of them.
Man. Yeah, there's your story. Beam with the basketball wants to get a shot. He will, but that will not count because he traveled with the basketball. We hope you've enjoyed our broadcast from the Assembly Hall, our 2 sessions, and again, we'll be back at you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Long jumper outside, not going to be there for Crane. Michael Beam's coming the other way, and it's knocked away. But we're going to have a breakaway layup for Brian Patrick. No, not enough time. He's going to have to throw it up. And your winner, the Findlay Falcons, have won this contest by a count of 74-60. We have 4 semifinalists. One of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance.
Against Findlay, 29-2. The losers will play for 3rd place tomorrow night at 6:30, and the winners will play for the state championship in Class A tomorrow night at 8:15.
Before we bid you good evening from Assembly Hall, let us look at our DuPont Herbicides play of the game. It came with the score knotted up at 52s.
Well, and it was a 3, and it was by Jim Allen. Jim Allen looks everybody off, then he just bangs in a long-range three-pointer. It was a big, big shot from the perimeter, a three-pointer by Jim Allen. That gave him the lead at 55-52.
He later knocked one down that gave them a double-digit lead. The DuPont Total Post program, flexible control at a competitive new price. Well, they were without their big men for a little bit. Of course, Eric Smith with 3 personal fouls in the second quarter, but they came back and pounded it inside, as you can see by the numbers.
Well, Findlay shot the basketball 27-52, a little better than 50%, only 28% for St. Edward. There's the story. 3-point field goals, 6 of 36 for St. Edward. Free throws, 17 points at the line for Findlay. Rebounds, Findlay with the edge, 45-40. Turnovers, Findlay with 21 turnovers, only 13 for St. Edward, but so what? Findlay wins it in pretty convincing fashion.
Okay, and our final stats, of course, brought to you by Milk. It certainly does a body good, even his. Enjoy real dairy products. Look for the real seal in your grocer's dairy case. We are going to be back. One of your network sponsors, of course, is Milk. It does a body good, especially in Illinois and Wisconsin, because they make it good.
Up this Friday of 4 quarterfinal contests that will lead into tomorrow's semifinal rounds. Let's run those down for you, as you'll see them here on this station beginning tomorrow at 11 o'clock after Normal High defeated Sherrard, and they advance to the 11 o'clock tip-off against Augusta Southeastern after their 59-44 victory over Fairfield. Now, those 2 semifinal winners will then advance on to the championship game, of course, and the consolation game in the evening. And of course, earlier tonight, you saw Benton defeating St. Martin de Porres of Chicago to advance against Findlay after their 74-60 victory over St. Edwards. Benton and Findlay at 12:45. And tomorrow night will be the consolation and championship game. For Dick Ludke, Jim Albrecht, and Greg Herrick, I'm Joe Passion saying so long from Assembly Hall. We'll see you back here tomorrow on America's original March Madness.
Your network sponsors are Country Companies Insurance, bringing you state tournament action for more than 20 years. The dairy farmers of Wisconsin and Illinois, who remind you to drink milk. It does a body good. And Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota.